What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today we're here to talk about Super Evolution. Recently I was in my Discord and TheLordShiro brought up a very interesting discussion point, and he made like his own tier list as to which Super Evolution characters he believed got like the best upgrade. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is not only because it was an interesting topic, but also just because Super Evolution's been divisive in the community, and the fact that, you know, this year hasn't had many amazing Super Evolutions. And I think just moving forward, I would really like to see them put a little bit more effort into developing better characters when they Super Evolve, and selecting better units for Super Evolution as well. Some characters receive Super Evolutions that don't really need them, and hopefully in this video we can kind of determine, you know, what makes a good Super Evolution, which characters in the past have received amazing buffs that have made them basically night and day difference between what they were and what they currently are. So here's the tier list right now. Shout out to OPTC-tier list. I'll leave a link to the website down below in the video description, of course. But here we have every single Super Evolution in the game, including the Japan ones, which we do not have yet, but looking forward to it for sure. And we're just going to be placing these characters on here as we go. Obviously, we've got a night and day, meaning night and day difference between the character and their previous form, and then L just being like a terrible Super Evolution. And starting things off, we've got Whitebeard, because he's an L. He's absolutely terrible. Boa Hancock is like I think she becomes an attack booster, so she's actually better. Sabo actually did get a slight upgrade. His captain effect is a lot better. If you do go ahead and expand his limit break, his captain effect is actually like usable, I would say. But overall, it's not like the best Super Evolution ever. Speaking of best Super Evolutions ever, Usopp is very not a very good Super Evolution in my opinion. And honestly, I'm gonna say, I think Luffy's like, man, I want to put Luffy in L, because honestly, I still think Time Skip Luffy, his previous form, is still better, because this guy just debuffs himself after 3 turns. It's just terrible. Like, just no, this character's bad. Rayleigh though, hey, Rayleigh is a good upgrade. I'm not gonna say night and day difference, because Rayleigh does still have a terrible captain effect. We can't disguise that. He didn't get a good upgrade to his captain effect at all, but he does have a very good special ability, giving him amazing debuff removal, and especially when you limit break him and you get access to his sailor effects as well, just makes his character so much better. Lucci though, L, terrible character. Shanks, also L. Actually, Shanks really did get worse. I think with Shanks' special, with his 6-star form, it was AoE damage when you launched his special, and then I think when they super evolved him, it's only single target. Like, why the hell would they do that? Yeah, Shanks is not that good. But then you got Kuzan, who's like actually like kind of usable. His captain effect got buffed a lot, which meant that like it took like less turns to get his max attack multiplier, and his special ability got buffed a lot as well. The 100,000 fixed AoE damage and the 2.5 chain lock, very nice. And basically the way that they built Kuzan prior to, a lot of people didn't even use him for extending the duration of buffs. A lot of people, when he first came out with the Super Evolution, were using him for his fixed damage and his 2.5 chain lock. But of course the orb extension and attack extension is still relatively useful here and there, but not the main reason why people really use Kuzan. But nowadays, yeah, people do use it sometimes for extension, for like 2-turn buffs to become 3 turns, take it over multiple stages. Definitely not a very usable character these days, but you know, he gets access to some good supports at least, which is kind of nice. Strongwood Ace is like a very character as well. It's weird though, when he super evolved, they took away his orb lock in his special. I don't understand why they did that. I know that if you expand him, his captain ability gets slightly better, but at this point, if you've got versus Ace, you would never use this character as your shooter captain anymore. Sengoku, no L. They didn't even fix his problems. He's still terrible. Hody Jones though is night and day difference, man. Hody Jones got buffed so much with his captain effect. I think his special ability also changed a lot as well. So Hody Jones with his regular 6-star form, he'd only give -1 cooldown at the start of the fight, and his like multipliers weren't as good, of course. And his special ability was only single target damage. Like, what the hell? Like, that's just terrible. But then when he went ahead and super evolved, he got a lot better. His captain effect -2 at the start of the quest, -3 if you expand him. That's crazy. And then his special ability became AoE damage, which just made it so much better. And you could actually use this guy to speed farm content. For those of you that were playing the game when Hody 6+ came out, you guys know how valuable this 6+ was. Speed farming all those really easy Fortnite content. Such an amazing character when he got that Super Evolution. Literally one of the best Super Evolutions we've ever received. Mihawk though is a slight upgrade. It's not the best. It's fine. Same with Zoro, like it's a slight upgrade, nothing too crazy though. I think the V2 lore though is actually a pretty good upgrade. I mean, he does AoE fixed damage now instead of single target, and he removes barrier. Like that's so good. And he changed classes. He was a side grade for going from striker to cerebral, but his buffs that he overall got I think is relatively good because this character was used in a lot of different teams, especially on release. He was still used more as a striker unit because strikers back then really needed that support. Cerebrals when this guy came out weren't like super amazing, but overall I think just in general it is a good buff to the unit for sure. Crocodile though is like, I mean, I guess it's a slight upgrade, but it's pretty honestly. Like, Crocodile is not a very good 6+. Same as, like, Bato. Like, Bato is, like, super Yeah, he does boost Driven now on top of Strikers, but he's a very average unit. He does boost Attack and Ores, but, like, 1.5. Just, yeah, not a very good unit. You got Law here. Law is like a slight upgrade. His captain effect is better. His special ability, obviously, got getting all that cooldown. That was the big difference, was the cooldown reduction with this character. Yeah, it was a slight upgrade, but this was not like a character you use all the time. This is a character that you use very sparingly. So I can't really say that it's like a night and day difference because, yeah, the unit does get buffed a lot, but it's not one of those characters that sees a lot of play. So I think he's just like middle of the road, in my opinion anyway. Kizaru is very I mean, he is, again, slightly upgraded, but it's not a very big upgrade because they don't inherently fix his flaws that he had. He's just okay, in my opinion. Buggy is an L. He basically didn't change, like, terrible super evolution. Jinbei, though, I think Jinbei is, like, night and day different. The big thing about Jinbei is, yeah, his captain effect did get a bit of an upgrade, but still, 3 times attack is whatever. But his special ability gave, like, amazing utility. Being able to remove Blue Shield and Rainbow Shield by 5 turns, especially when this guy released, like, that's a very useful effect to have. A huge upgrade to the unit when previously he would just do damage and change fighter slots into matching. Then they added that huge punch of defensive effect removal on the enemy. Like, that is a huge buff to the unit, and like that's literally the only thing that they really changed, but it's a huge buff nonetheless. I mean, compared to like some of the other characters and the type of buffs that these characters get, I think Jinbei's buff is actually really, really good. Could be a little bit unpopular, but that's my opinion on Jinbei. We move over to Judge. Now, Judge is a very weird one because Judge is like actually really good if you expand his limit break, but if you don't expand it, he's just like, he's like a side grade. He's pretty much the same unit, but if you expand his limit break, this character is like god tier. Judge is pretty middle of the road in my opinion. I mean, this guy is like very like I don't really think they changed him that much. 6+ Magellan is just pretty bad. But then you got Corazon. Corazon is a good upgrade. Honestly, for Corazon, because of the changes, if you read the changes between 6-star and 6-star plus, I think he honestly is a night and day difference because I think they gave him more healing and just the amount of debuffs that he actually removes. It's a pretty substantial change from his original form. Like, I think it's a bigger change than what Rayleigh had, even though Rayleigh probably sees more play in regular content. The change between 6-star and 6-star plus for Corazon and the benefits that are provided were pretty substantial for the unit. Speaking of night and day differences, we have Enel. When his 6+ came out, if you guys were playing when he came out, oh my god, dude, the amount of shenanigans that you could do with Enel was so crazy. Being able to use all these healers to overheal to the max capacity so quickly and just launch his special to do 5 million damage whenever you wanted. Spamming double Enel was used a lot, and the things that he was able to do was pretty incredible. So I think for sure the night and day difference between 6-star and 6-star plus Enel, this unit was one of the best super evolutions that they've ever decided to do. The buffs they gave him were incredible, but of course, the thing about it is the way that the character is built is that he gets outshunned very, very quickly because of his damage potential, right? So he's not that amazing, but on release, when you compare the two characters, much, much better. We've got a couple average ones coming up though. We got Sanji. Like, yeah, it's a slight upgrade. I know that his captain action got slightly buffed, but again, it's not a huge buff. Like, no one was really using Sanji when his 6+ came out. It wasn't like a huge difference where everyone decided to use Sanji. No, Sanji 6+ was still pretty average. I mean, Frankie also like pretty they didn't really change too much with him. Cavendish also a pretty average unit. Like, they didn't really give him too much. Inuarashi was a slight upgrade, but nothing god tier. And same with Neko. They gave him some utility with his special ability, but Nothing really amazing there either. Then you've got this one here with Rob Lucci. I mean, he became a shooter character instead, boosting all those shooter units. Again, like a slight upgrade. It was more of a side grade more than an upgrade. But I guess I'll kind of leave him there. I still really like the powerhouse version of Lucci. I like what they tried to do. They tried to go the shooter route instead. Still not really a big fan of that one though. But then you got Snake Man. I mean, Snake Man is definitely a night and day difference. I think this was a relatively good super evolution to the character, despite the fact that he became an orb booster instead of an attack booster with the previous form. The captain ability was way better, and the ability to get so many more matching slots, and he was a powerhouse unit as well, which helped out a lot with the characters that were releasing around that time. I think a lot of people will still hate the fact that they super evolved that quick Luffy that had such a unique mechanic with the gauge consuming recovery slots. That was very unique for the unit, but when you compare the two units, like Snake Man was way better than the Gear 4 Luffy that could potentially become Tank Man. Like, this guy's way better, and you know, as I said, becoming powerhouse instead of Free Spirit was actually a really good change for the unit. This Boa Hancock was an interesting one as well. So she became a Free Spirit captain, I believe, like Free Spirit unit. I think it was also Free Spirit color affinity with her special ability. Like, again, like, it's just a lot of these super evolutions are so bad. Doflamingo, yeah, he's an interesting one because his orb boost became driven specific instead of rainbow. His captain ability definitely got better, but I think, yeah, because of captain ability, he kind of has to go in the usable tier. His captain ability is so much better. Big Mom is I just don't like this character. I mean, it could just be me. I'm not a big fan of that Big Mom. You got V2 Fujitora. L. Yeah, V2 Fujitora is a pretty big L. This Akainu though, this Akainu is actually like a really good upgrade. His captain ability was amazing. Special ability was way better. Just, they gave this character everything that he basically needed. Like, they basically fixed all the flaws of the unit, in my opinion. Yeah, if you don't get a strength slot, you do like no damage, of course, but the character was still relatively good for what he was. So that's that. You've got Nami though. Nami is actually a good upgrade. They gave her utility with her special ability, and her captain ability is actually pretty good too. I think, did they actually remove, I think they removed a condition with her special ability as well, like actually good. Shirahoshi though, Shirahoshi's like, they didn't really fix too much with that unit. I mean, the unit was already incredibly good before the unit got a super evolution anyway. It kind of didn't need to happen. They gave the unit the ability to remove like recovery bind or something, or some recovery reduction effect. So that's basically all they did. Like, the captain ability was pretty much the same if I remember correctly. And then you got Bullet. Like, Bullet was a slight upgrade, and I love Bullet to death, but when you really think about it in terms of what the super evolution gave him, it wasn't really that much. Now we got Katakuri here. Now Katakuri is an interesting one. I'm going to put him in a usable tier because he was almost like a side grade as well. I love him with his expansion though. His expansion makes him like really good. They did buff his multipliers slightly, which is a big thing, but they actually changed the classes that he boosted with his captain effect, and they also altered the way that his special ability would work. When you activate the special, you don't get the conditional boost until you hit your perfects, and the fact that they gave the character a perfect buff kind of conflicted with some other special abilities you would potentially use with him, so I don't like that. I think if they made that character in today's day and age, they probably would have given him the clock buff instead. I think that would have made it a little bit better. But then again, the perfect buff does make sense. You know, do a bit of damage, make sure you get that delay, and then you can go ahead and get that boost in the following turn. I understand the structure and the functionality of the unit, but I think they kind of missed the mark in a couple of different instances, because in some circumstances you would want to use the strength one instead, because you get the conditional boost on turn 1 and you can stack it with another delayed effect that you could potentially use on your team. So unfortunately, Katakuri, I think he's a decent upgrade, but I mean, when you realistically think about it, it's not one of the best super evolutions, but in my opinion, I love the character to death. I really do love him. But then you got Lucy. Lucy's 6+ is actually pretty good. I'm not going to say night and day. I think it's a good upgrade. It's a good upgrade to Lucy. Special ability is fantastic. He does like cooldown reduction now, so you can use his special with his crewmate effects to resist special reverse and stuff. Really good stuff going on there with Lucy. If you expand him, his captain effect is god tier as well. You got Robin. Robin didn't get that much with her super evolution. Like, she just got like bigger numbers, so like she's like usable. That's pretty much it for her. Marco got a slight upgrade, but it was nothing too crazy. It was pretty much what everyone expected Marco to be, unfortunately. We would have kind of hoped it was a bit higher in terms of like what his orb boost was going to be, but at 2 times orb boost is pretty much what a lot of people expected. Quickbeat was a bit of a weird one. No one really expected him to get a super evolution when he did, and I guess they just kind of, it was a very slight upgrade. It was nothing really too crazy. They didn't really need to give him a super evolution at that time. Very weird choice. We got Fujitora though, who is definitely getting a slight upgrade. I mean, this character this character is probably usable, I would say. The fact that they made his special launch at the start of the quest was actually pretty cool. And the fact that you can use his special ability that lasts like pretty much forever to get around like resilience buffs and stuff. I remember versus the Ambush Whitebeard, the Neo Ambush Whitebeard, this character was really, really good against him there. Then we got Garb. Garb is definitely one of the better super evolutions in the game. His captain effect became actually usable. Prior to his super evolution, it was probably one of the worst legend captain abilities in the game. But he made his special ability too, like really, really good. Being able to remove so many turns of special bind and 3.25 or 3.5 times chain lock, multi-stage special. He's a Garb unit, gets access to a couple of decent supports, I would say. So Garb, definitely one of the best super evolutions we've seen. If you compare the two units, 6+ is so much better. You got Rayleigh. Rayleigh's like a usable unit, but then again, like they didn't really change too much with the unit. He's probably a slight upgrade now that I think about it. They really didn't change that much with the unit. The unit is just overall, like, he was relatively fine before the super evolution, probably didn't need it, but he got it anyway. And you got Jinbei. Jinbei is an L. They didn't really change the problems with the unit. Not good at all. Capone. Capone is a night and day difference. They basically just gave him an additional class that he boosted, so he was only shooter, and now they made him boost shooter and driven, and he is just a lot better. Like, better captain effect, better special ability. Like, it's just a good unit overall. I think it's a really good upgrade to the character. You got Blackbeard though. Blackbeard is like, eh. A lot of people like this character. I've never really liked V1 Blackbeard that much. I think this character is like super overrated. But hey, that's just my opinion anyways. We got this Zoro. This Zoro, it gets a slight upgrade, but they still don't fix his issues. Same with Sanji, like slight. Actually, Sanji's probably usable because they definitely fixed the major issues with the unit. One of the few super evolutions that actually did do that, which is good. But then Mihawk, again, a slight upgrade. They didn't fix some of the issues with that unit. Onami is a good upgrade. She gets color affinity, cooldown reduction, damaging special. Really nice upgrade for that unit. Captain ability still not very good though. Cracker is slight upgrade. He didn't really get much, unfortunately. They made him also a damaging special, which is cool. We can have some pretty unique supports attached to him. Komurosaki, again, like a slight upgrade. Her captain effect did get slightly buffed, but again, she's like boosting int instead of quick now, which is a bit weird. So I wish they did a bit more with Komurosaki. I think that would have been really interesting, but unfortunately not. Germa 66. Germa 66, I wouldn't say night and day difference, but it's a good upgrade for Germa 66. They basically picked the couple of things about the unit that a lot of people didn't like on release, and they just altered them and made the unit so much better. Multipliers were give or take the same. If you have matching slots, it's the same multiplier. They made the unit have a 3-stage special now instead of a 2-stage special, like, and having the orb boost and the captain swap for 3 turns instead of 2 turns with max special on stage 3 was incredible. Like, such a good upgrade to the unit. Support effect still sucks. Rumble, amazing though, of course. I really like what they did with Germa 66. I think they're a fantastic upgrade. But then you got this Sabo right here. This Sabo got such a crazy upgrade. He is definitely one of the super evolutions that is kind of shocking when you really compare the two versions of the unit. This character is like incredible and so much better than the original version. Definitely a night and day difference for sure. Incredible unit. And you got Carrot as well. I think Carrot is a good upgrade. I don't think it's a night and day difference, but it's a good upgrade to Carrot. And then the final character is Yamato. Yamato, in my opinion, is a good upgrade. Definitely not night and day, but it's a good upgrade because they don't really fix any problems the unit had, because the unit prior to was already incredible. But what they did was they just like, hey, you know what? We're going to make it a bit of a side grade. The chain boost is a bit different for the 6+ as well. And the captain ability, it's a lot easier to reach a higher damage potential, because I believe you had to be below 50% for the int version to get that chain boost in the captain effect, whereas this one is like, yeah, you can get the chain boost all the time. So that's a bit of a difference there between the two units, and I'm really hoping Yamato comes out soon for global, because this unit is so freaking incredible. But that is the rundown of my personal opinions on super evolutions in the game right now, in terms of when they first came out, you know, just the regular 6-star form versus their 6-star plus form. And I think I'm relatively happy with this list. I think the characters up in these top 2 tiers, easily the best super evolutions that we've received thus far. You know, we've obviously got some really good units here, like Bullet, right? Bullet is a good unit, but if you compare 6-star to 6-star plus, the difference is not that you know, big. You can't really comparing like some of these other ones where the changes between the 6-star and the 6-star plus are pretty significant, and they make the unit so much better. And I think that's definitely what these top 2 of units really do, honestly. So let me know down below in the comment section, which super evolution character do you think, or like top three best super evolutions that you think are in One Piece Treasure Cruise right now. I would really love to hear your guys' opinions on this one. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video today, and if you guys have enjoyed it, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.